Hello, my little piggies. Welcome back to I'm a bit of an expert at Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and joining me down the line as always, the other half of the show, Matt Frost. How you going, mate?
I'm going very good, Josh. How are you?
I'm good, and sitting in with me is, if you listened to last week, the back again, Kat O'Brien. How you going?
Hello, I'm good. And down the line, I've got Karina. How you going, Karina?
I'm very good, thanks, Kat.
Excellent. I was actually, we're just offline, I was gesturing for Kat to get closer to the microphone. She was like, no, the pointing was good that you welcomed Karina also, but it did mean get closer to the microphone, but that's okay.
I didn't quite understand what that was about.
There's just wild gestations and stuff going on everywhere. But yeah, so nice of you guys to stick around and do another one here. You feel like you've got the first one out of the way now and it's just smooth sailing from here?
Well, we'll see. Depends on... So the episode is school bus trip?
Yes. So what goes down in school bus trip, Matt and Karina?
Well, this is a good one, I think.
It's a very good one,
great one.
Yeah.
I was surprised how good it was after we jumped ahead so far, and I felt it stacked up.
Yeah, because we have had that sort of inertia of going, whiplash of going back, haven't we, after these jump forwards before?
Yeah.
But no, this is another really good one because it's a school bus trip, and it is what it says on the carton, but it's got the full cast, all the kids, and they go to a pretty interesting place too.
Yeah, well, we don't really, like, our kids are a bit little for excursions. We haven't done they go to the park and stuff, like.
They do bush kinder, so they walk to the...
That's about as far as it goes, but you've got sort of kids who are a little bit bigger. Do you have to sort of do the forms and they get sent on the excursions and stuff? Kids go to excursions still, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think they still ask for volunteers as well, for parents to go along, so it's interesting on this episode there's no parents jumping on the bus, but it's good. The kids enjoy it. It's good to get out of school and do some learning out in the outdoors.
Especially when you've been inside for months.
Yeah, our Osh do trips in the school holidays too, don't they? They jump on a bus.
Yeah. Jumping castle worlds and movies and swimming centres and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Just going anywhere sounds really good, So we do have a full deck. So there is some good Madame Gazelle stuff. First thing first, we've got to talk about Madame Gazelle and her megaphone, really. It's
good stuff.
Is that a little bit of overkill, or is that just her band days coming out that she's just, I thought she might have been doing just a bit of, megaphone on stage and stuff when she was in the Rockin' Gazelles.
I think for sure any chance she does to relive her rock and roll lifestyle. But yeah, it is good times with our favourite school teacher.
And we've got, of course, Miss Rabbit driving the bus here. Now, I'm just going to think about. She's definitely done bus driver before, hasn't she?
Again, I don't know whether we've seen it, but yeah, she definitely always drives the bus.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the kids go away yet. Like, there is definitely more school trips and coming up, but yeah.
Yeah. I know. Did you ever have to take the bus? You weren't a bus to school kid, were you?
No.
You were close to school. Were you on the bus to school?
No, I wasn't. I was a townie.
You're a townie.
Yeah. Did you have to catch the bus?
Not in primary school. I rode the bike, but when I got to high school, I went to a high school that was a bit further away, so I had to bus it. But that was back in the day when buses were free for students and we could go anywhere we wanted, which was great.
Oh, they're not free for students now? I didn't even know that they weren't free.
Oh, really?
No, I just assumed that... No.
Because I used to catch the tram home from school and we suddenly needed tickets
right.
on the tram.
You mean like public transport bus. I thought just like... Well, I was in a country school, so there was like the buses. Yeah. Because I was a townie, so the buses, I always felt like there was another social thing going on with all the bus kids because they'd all go to the bus stop and then go on their buses, and there was this whole like social thing where people knew people who were on buses and sat on buses, and I missed all of that.
But being in Melbourne, it was the train. Who caught the train? I lived close and I could catch a tram, so I missed out on all the train hijinks.
Oh, right. Getting in trouble in your school blazer and then,
top buttons not done up and...
God.
Tagging seats with texters and beating up old people.
Stanley knife, get your Stanley knife out and stuff. So they do the roll call to get on the bus here, and it's sort of weird because you've got Pepper and George, and then Rebecca and Richard going in, and then so sort of bring your younger sibling to the school trip, and then the other kids are just sort of going on as is, and then we get a lovely little cameo for you, Matt, of Pedro Pony turning up a little bit late to the party.
Yeah, that's my boy. She reads the Madame Gazelle reads the roll, and there's no Pedro, and he comes bolting in at the end. Am I too late? She goes, no, we haven't left. And his long-suffering mother.
Looks like she's just like, well, at least I don't have to yell at him on the drive back. If if they all go off and school's closed, he's got to come home with me. Like, I've dodged a bullet on that one.
I'm sure my boy he'd be one of those kids that he'd never know where his glasses are. He'd never know where his shoes are.
Yeah.
He'd go, but he'd always be very sweet about it. It's like, where did you put your glasses, Pedro? Oh, I don't know. I think I might have. And yeah, everything would take forever with Pedro, I think. So, yeah.
Well, they've done the in the new episodes of Bluey, they've actually got an autistic kid, and it's kind of talked about. I don't know if you've seen the episode, the army one, where they've got the new kid and he can't remember his hat and things,
Jack Russell.
he can't concentrate, and they sort of they talk about it in a nice way, but it's sort of played that he's actually got some some mild autism and stuff like that. Maybe Pedro's a precursor. Maybe he's this is just their subtle little precursor.
Same boys on the spectrum, are you?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's fine.
I think it's a,
You don't think they're quite as
nah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Pepper goes that way a bit later on. But
these
I don't
days
know.
it's just a kid who can't tell can't get out of bed in time.
Yeah, yeah,
Daydreamer.
Yeah, it's just a bit of
yeah.
So they get onto the bus, and everyone's having a great old time. They got their packed lunches and stuff. We don't have to do. We did have to do packed lunches a little bit, didn't we? You guys do packed lunches, I assume, every day.
Yes, every night we prepare those ready for the next day. But what surprised me though was when they were all getting on the bus, and then Miss Rabbit is ready to drive away, and all the mothers are just waving goodbye. I was like, where are the fist pumps? Where are the the kids are gone? Like, where are the mums turning around going, let's go get a coffee?
I got a bottle of champagne in my bag.
I was wondering where the dads were. Like, this is just why is mums all on duty this morning? It's not like at our drop off. There's lots of
better write a letter. Not too sure.
Yeah. Was that episode where they all went on the boat with Grandad Pig? We all reckon they went to the pub. I wonder if all the mums have gone straight to the wine bar.
Well, that makes sense then. I'm very happy it's all the mums if they're heading off to the wine bar.
Yeah, maybe they've got a social event. They've got a social thing that they're doing straight after or something, maybe.
Breakfast wine.
Yeah, they're going to have some online mimosas or something.
One thing I picked up just quickly is, again, we've got no seat belts.
Yeah.
But we've got a fire extinguisher. So
as long as the bus doesn't roll, it's going to be okay, even if it does catch fire.
That's right. And we've got Madame Gazelle continues to use her megaphone in the bus, which is it's a nice touch.
Like she's in
no
Rage Against the
PA
Machine or
one.
something. Like she's just at the front, just sort of like, spitting some rhymes. I do like that. I mean, we talk about the hills in Peppa Pig all the time, that everything's on top of a bloody hill, but there is a particularly sort of mega hill going on here, isn't it? That Miss Rabbit is absolutely she's driving up that thing in first gear, isn't she? Like, she is crunching that car.
Yeah, it's one of the first times you sort of see something sort of breaking down in Peppa Pig, and you we have a bit of that later on with the little red car and the school roof and stuff like that. So I quite enjoyed it. The animation with the dials as she's flooring it, trying to get the thing going. Madame Gazelle worriedly sort of encouraging it, and the kids start to cheer the bus on. It's good stuff.
Yeah, luckily it doesn't just roll back down the hill. I remember going on a school camp when I was in about grade 6, and we were like driving there in the night time, and we were on this like bus. It was almost like a one-way road kind of thing, and then like this other car or something came from the other side, and the bus had to like veer right over to the side, and it felt like we were going to tip over the edge of the.
God.
Like, I've always remembered that. I'm just like, we were almost like on the news of like the school bus that went off the side of the thing for on the way to the excursion. But it was the late 80s. Things are different.
Kids died in bus crashes all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We definitely had seatbelts on though, so that's something. But they get off the bus and they get up this very high hill, and again, it's a bit like Grandpa Pig's boat, isn't it? It's sort of like the one sort of safety rail that isn't particularly safe on the top of this very precarious position.
I was worried about my boy Pedro. So, if anyone's going to go down and break a leg, it's Pedro.
At least he's smart enough to be hanging at the back here. We're just looking at the thing. He's sort of just sitting at the back. I don't know. Pepper's quite happy to sit at the front.
Yeah, I don't think they did a risk assessment when they went on this excursion for some reason.
No, like if you'd found out that, Cat Creator, if you'd, sent your children on this school trip and then some photos came back of like them up this hill with this little safety rail, you'd be writing a letter, wouldn't you, or something?
Well, especially for George and Richard. Richard's Rebecca's little...
Yeah.
These guys could do anything, really. Let's be honest.
Well, they only
They're
have to move
tiny.
30 centimetres to their right, and then they're basically going to fall down the hill, yeah.
Did George get a ticket on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did he?
Yeah.
But we haven't got Edmund Elephant, the little child genius. He's back at home.
He would have been pushed down.
Or something,
yeah, someone would have pushed him down that hill, probably. For being a bit of a know-it-all.
Calculate this nerd.
Yeah, he's a clever clogs. That was the nice way of saying it. So they're doing a little bit of echoey fun up the hill, having a great old time, and then we sort of didn't touch on. Probably should just go back to this very quickly of
the apples on the bus.
Yeah, the apples on the bus of Susie Sheep and Peppa Pig swapping their lunches and kind of getting caught out really after being sort of being a bit naughty, bit of back of the bus going on there, weren't they?
Yeah, Peppa would definitely be at the back of the bus. I think. Are they eggs in their lunch boxes?
No, that's a fruit box.
That's a fruit box. Okay, we're always on the lookout for anything non-vegetarian.
Yeah, I was just looking at the things, just seeing if they're going to slip up again. But they have the little lunch break, and then listeners to the show will know that we theorise about the ducks on this show a lot. We've I don't know if you guys listen or not that regularly, but Matt and I theorised the ducks are actually the smartest creatures in the Pepperverse and are actually secretly controlling everything. And there was certainly nothing to dispel that rumour, was there, Matt? Like it sort of was there a bit more evidence.
No, yes, definitely supporting evidence. I was actually hoping, like after the yodeling and stuff and the echoing, that they were going to see, like the ducks were going to do it and they wouldn't echo because there's that
otherworldliness
that they reckon ducks quacks don't echo. So I thought they were going to
missed something there, did they?
They missed something, yeah. So, but yeah, definitely good when they start feeding the ducks. After somebody claims that the ducks wouldn't be there, I think.
Yeah, like that wouldn't be. And then they just sort of mysteriously show up, like, oh, we've been here all along.
We've always been here.
Olive certainly loves feeding the ducks, doesn't she? That's like a thing she does with her grandparents quite a lot.
She's very particular. She takes her oats because where we go, that there's big signs like "Don't feed them bread."
Yeah, that feels like a new thing. I don't know. Has it always been the case?
I think it's a relatively new thing, but I think we've always known you shouldn't, and people always did. But now people are a little bit more proactive about doing the right thing.
Looking after the ducks.
Are you saying that I was trying to hurt ducks as a child?
That's just something I've always known anyway.
Even as a child, I looked across at those other children and thought, you shouldn't be doing that.
No, we used to do grated carrot when I was a kid. Anyway, that's just
really?
what we did.
Wow.
The sign does say you can feed lettuce, and there's a pond that we go to which is near my parents, or the kids' grandparents have got a holiday house, and it's quite a tourist town. And so often you get tourists that have gone to the supermarket, and I've seen people there feeding like very expensive cos lettuce to the ducks. Like they've got like a $5 pack of cos lettuce, and here's the Olive with their 80-cent pack of oats just here. Like, here you go ducks.
Surely they're going for the oats over the lettuce, though. Surely. Or the ducks don't care.
I don't think the ducks cared whether it's the $5
I
pack
thought
of Coles lettuce.
I mean, like a seagull will eat pretty much anything you put in front of them, but I always thought ducks had a bit more refined tastes. But
I just thought they'd be get out with the sourdough toast and the smashed avocado for the eggs.
Yeah, well, it is a pretty, schmancy seaside town, so there's a good chance it could be that. So they have a lovely time up on the hill. They get back down onto the bus, and then Matt, it's your time to shine. Really, this is the first, the debut of the Bing Bong song, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the first time I can think of it. Are you going to re-put it in at the end,
Or put the old track back on?
Yeah.
I mean, I could. I'll have to find it, but that'll mess up all my preset templates I have when I edit this thing. But we'll see what we can come up with. But obviously the song that's very synonymous with Pepper, the old Bing Bong song, gets its first run with subtitles with the little bouncing ball.
Awesome.
And some wonderful guitar playing animation with Madame Gazelle too.
For some reason, I thought she was a lefty, but maybe I'm just remembering that wrong.
Oh, God. Have a listen to you.
Clearly not, then. Clearly someone's got a...
Yeah, you're not being represented, Josh.
It's Hendrix, Cobain, Paul McCartney, and Madame Gazelle, the famous left-handed musician.
And Josh Chapman.
Yeah. I've heard obviously Bing Bong song before. She hasn't watched as much Pepper as she used to, but
no, I feel like we're getting close to a renaissance. That Sloane, our littlest, is not quite 18 months, but getting there. She's really obsessed with Bluey, and also slightly obsessed with Frozen. So I
don't know what is going on there. That feels like she's just jumped 2.5 years faster than she needs to, but I'm not sure.
That's what having an older sibling does, I think.
I think we're prime position now to get her started on Pepper.
So maybe we'll start getting the Bing Bong song being sung around the house again.
Be a nice break from Let It Go.
Yeah, that would be nice.
We get Soraya will come get me when Pepper's on. Like, Daddy, come watch it for your podcast.
Come and watch your show, Dad.
The tail is fully wagging the dog at this point.
She was like, I've grown out of it, but I know you like it, so I guess...
Yeah. I think Beanie still likes it a bit.
Oh, good.
I am finding a newfound appreciation to George, and I know in the first few episodes there was a lot of debate, and you guys discussed, is George too hardly done by? But I think now seeing Sloane and Olive interact, and poor little Sloane gets a hard time. Toys get taken away, that there's things she can't play with because they're not age appropriate. These are not things that Olive had to deal with. So, that Sloane is very quick on that, no! And brings them down.
Yeah. You guys are like, something's going on in the background. They're up.
That's very good.
The George character is resonating with me more and more. Where before I was on the fence or
dismissive
the side
George.
of thought he was
George
a bit
is a
whiny.
bit of a whinger.
He's crying again.
Pretty much.
So yeah, look, a really good episode. When you've got a full deck like this, we always sort of say when you've got all the kids, it's pretty hard to go wrong. But we get a bit of Madame Gazelle. We get Miss Rabbit, we get the Bing Bong song. It's probably, if arguably, the best episode of this series. I don't know if we've had a better one, really. I'd have to double check, but it'd be up there.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I'm not sure. There might have been... I know we hit a little bit of a high point before we had that flat spot. I don't know. They're all just feelings and vibes at this stage, Josh. I just don't,
We'll have to do a proper analysis.
You need to get out a spreadsheet.
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Now you're talking your language. So any closing thoughts on school bus trip, Kat, and for you first, before we get to Karina?
No, I'm just looking forward to busting out the Bing Bong song with the girls.
All right, there's an activity for tomorrow. How about you, Karina? Any closing thoughts on this one?
Other than just looking forward to resumption of going out and enjoying things with friends. That's something I think
you can see yourself on that bus.
Yeah,
I'll get the dangerous bus with no seatbelts.
I think the mums at the wine bar, that sounds fabulous.
I look forward to the day where I can put my children on a bus with no seatbelts up a steep hill so I can go to a wine bar and have a good time.
That's what parenting's all about.
And how about you, Matt? Any closing thoughts on this one before we send it home?
I got a really good Pedro moment in there, so I'm very happy.
Excellent, eh? Right, well, thanks everyone for listening. Thank you to our special guests. It will probably be business as usual after this, unless we get inundated with people asking for you guys to take over the show, and we'll get put on the bench. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes to. But thank you for having us. No problem.
Thank you again.
Thanks everybody for listening, and and all our new listeners. It seems like we've got a little spike in listeners lately. I think this new platform in India is bringing a lot of people in, so which is great. So stick around, and thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Josh, and good night, my little piggies.
Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo.